Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. We are good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me at RFS Dan.
And I'm Jess. You can find me at Snow Dogs Vlogs.
So, Jess, it feels like just the other day we were in the same room, and now we're across the country again.
I know, right? How many days ago was that? Like 3?
Yeah, really.
4?
Like 4 days ago. You've traveled so many miles in the last, month.
In the last month, I added it all up, and for the road trip, we drove like 6,741 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your car just depreciated pretty dang quick.
Well, yeah, and all the sandstorm and the freezer door didn't help.
That's true, too, huh? You went through some rugged stuff there for a while.
Yeah, we did. And then the flight is like, I think it's almost 2,000 miles, like a flight, so 4,000 miles total. So I've traveled 10,000 miles in less than a month.
Wow, that's crazy. You need to rotate your life tires.
Right?
I don't even know what that means. Well, you got out of here just in time because we are back to earthquake country. There was a couple decent ones last night and one this morning that we should have felt. I didn't feel them, but I should have felt them.
Well, there was one while we were there, but we were too far away. Like you said, you would have felt it at your house.
Yeah, they're back again, and there was 3 of them, and then there was a pretty good one because I was live streaming, and somebody was there in Bali. I think there was one there, and so they're popping up. You know, when you just type in earthquake and it shows earthquakes around you, it's not over.
And wasn't there one like in more north of you guys in California just a couple of days ago?
Yes. So yeah.
I thought you said that your earthquake wasn't gonna like create an earthquake ripple effect, but I don't know. I'm not a scientist or anything, but I'm gonna call it an earthquake ripple effect. Ripple.
I feel like whenever you're standing in a crowd or at a concert and somebody moves a few inches, everybody moves those few inches too. Like, oh, I'm plugging up that hole, or I'm moving in here. I feel like it's the same way.
I think that's what's happening. Let's just hope it doesn't set off the volcanoes in Washington.
Oh, yeah.
We had an earthquake in Washington, too.
Yes, that's right. I saw Joel's picture of him all disheveled at like 3 in the morning. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
4.9 at Ridgecrest again at 6:11 a.m., which is about an hour north from me. And then there was there was one in Indonesia last night at 5.7. That's decent, especially somewhere. Yeah, especially there. A Livermore in San Jose got a 4.3 this morning, and that was yesterday at 1:11 p.m.
That was an aftershock of the one they had the other day.
Yeah, so it's stuff's not done yet.
The earth is rumbling.
I'm going to fall into the ocean, but like I said, at least you'll be able to say that you have that friend that died when he was swallowed up by the San Andreas fault.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you got out here just in time because it's a little scary. I'm a little nervous.
It's very interesting to think about how frequent, because you hear about earthquakes and you're like, oh, there was an earthquake. But this has been, like you said, this has been like nonstop. I don't feel like, because I pay attention to weather. Maybe it's because I enjoy it. I don't know. But I pay attention to a lot of like weather and natural phenomenons a lot. That stuff really intrigues me. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I've ever been watching the news or the sites that I go to and it's been like earthquake after earthquake in the same area. It's like, here's one, here's a few more, and then it's over. But you guys had your big one, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that was the second big one that we had. It's like you'll get a few earthquakes and then it's gone and you're settled, and it's been a few weeks and I still don't feel settled. I still feel like more earthquakes are coming, or it's not over. It's not over yet.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I hope I get some beachfront property.
So we got earthquakes going on in California. They got tropical storms that didn't turn into a hurricane, but all were like hurricane winds that are flooding Louisiana again, and they're afraid the levees are going to overflow. We've got a level 1 severe thunderstorm heading straight for us today that should hit us anytime. The earth is angry.
Dang.
I know why. I know. I have the answer.
Let's hear it, please. Go on.
It's the aliens.
Yes. That's the only answer. That is the only answer.
They know that we're coming to storm Area 51.
Yes. Did you sign the petition?
No.
So how did this all start? Because I feel like this happened while we were at Vidcon, and one of the mornings you were like, you made some sort of Area 51 joke, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, is this something that just happened the other day?
So I guess it was like you said, when we were out there, somebody started a petition to storm Area 51. And I guess the reason it started was because people want answers. They want to know what's at Area 51.
Right.
People want to know. They don't want the government to keep secrets because that's a bad thing. So why can't we know what's at Area 51? You know, not that it has to do anything with like keeping our country safe or anything like that. No, forget about that. We just want to know what's at Area 51.
Yeah. I'm curious.
We know the aliens are there, and now they know we're coming, so they're literally shaking the earth.
Yes, and I think this has been coming up lately because it was the 50th anniversary of the quote unquote moon landing. It was
Yes.
There was some guy I think on the Joe Rogan podcast that was into like UFOs and stuff like that. So it's being like it's happy again, like UFOs and the alien is back into the spotlight.
Yes, it's very, I don't know, it's very interesting. There's a lot of memes going around about it. There's all these events. I I I think it's funny. I think it's going to be interesting, and I think the reality of it is that if anybody actually thinks they're going to storm Area 51, they're going to die.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, the government's not going to mess around. When it says don't come here and you try to come here, they're going to shoot you, plain and simple. I mean, maybe you'll get abducted by aliens and, you know, you'll get anal probed. I don't know. I
Right.
saw that episode of South Park.
Yeah, Cartman seemed to have enjoyed himself during that whole episode, so maybe it's not a bad thing. I'm happy for the alien itself. You know, we went through the phase of vampires and zombies and pirates and ninjas, but never
Yeah.
the alien. The alien never won or was even in the conversation or the running for who would win. And now the alien is popular again.
That is true. This is their moment.
This
Now
is
is the
their
time to
moment.
release Independence Day 3
Yes.
or 2 or whatever it was.
Yes, because we need another one of those. We need another one of those movies. So
Right.
way to go, the alien, who's now relevant again. All those little gift shops that are outside Area 51 that I've seen in some old documentary that were all run down, selling a bunch of dusted stuff. Better dust off their alien blow up dolls because those things are relevant again.
I guess that they were saying, I was reading an article that said that there's like the flights to Roswell and into that area are selling out for the day they're supposed to storm Area 51. All the flights are selling out. The hotels out there are selling out. So people are going. I have a
Wait.
friend of mine who actually said he wants to go just to see the people. He goes, I don't want to storm Area 51. I just want to watch it go down.
Wait a minute. So okay, hold on. I only got bits and pieces of the story. So it's a petition to storm Area 51. Ha ha ha. Funny. But is there like a date and a time?
Oh yeah. There's a date and a time and an event where people are actually going to storm Area 51.
That needs to be live streamed. We need to figure that out. We need to find that out.
Contact your friends over at LiveView and see if they'll give you the backpack and let you go to Area 51.
Right. But I need to find out when it happens so I can watch somebody's live stream.
September 20th. It's happening September 20th is the date that they're going to storm Area 51. And like the idea behind it is people are basically saying they can't stop all of us. So their idea is
It's on a Friday.
if enough people come to Area 51 and storm Area 51, the government can't stop them all.
I know, but they can. But like, couldn't you have made it
They
on the
can.
weekend? I got to work on Friday.
Area 51 is like a nuclear test site facility. You don't think they have nuclear bombs there? You're going to send 2 million people into Area 51 and there's going to be a nuclear bomb explosion.
What if they just let them all in? Just fuck it, just come in. It's okay. Let's open up like a half a mile the gate and let them run in, and then what? Then it's like that's what they should do. If they were smart, they would set it up as a festival. They'd have food vendors there, and then they'd let them storm the gates, and it would just be a concert, and they would sell so much. They would make so much money on it.
The people that are actually going would be so distracted. They'd be like, whoa, free food.
Whoa, who would be playing on stage there? It'd be like for the Foo Fighters. Whoa, look at it's
Alien
Mr.
Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm, right? Oh man, we're going to comedy jail. That's cool. I'm gonna have to look into this more because maybe like I don't know, maybe I'll like throw on some reruns of Mork and Mindy and try to like get my alien knowledge up. And I'm not too far from Area 51, right? I'm gonna Google
You're not.
map. I'm gonna Google map Area 51.
Yeah,
Is that what you call
very
it?
far from it at all. I guess they've said, I think almost 2 million people have actually signed the petition that said they're going to storm Area 51. And the
Gordon?
federal government has made quite a few remarks saying, Don't even think about it. It supposedly started off as a joke, but I think now people think it's a serious thing.
Area 51 vape shop. That's the first thing that comes up. Okay, it's is it where is Area 51? Is a
It's in Nevada.
okay.
You're like,
I'm
"Where's
close.
Area
I might be
51?"
just a few hours from Area 51. Where
Yeah,
is
you're
it?
not far from there.
No.
Did you
Oh
not know
yeah.
that? No, I forget you never leave your
Right. No, I knew it was out in our desert area, but oh yeah, it's like, oh shoot, dude, I'm there in like 4 hours.
Yeah, not far.
Oh, I am in. I am in. Oh, there's my confirmation email. I just signed the petition.
You better start making your Area 51 hashtag TikToks and your
Oh
Area
my
51
gosh.
Instagram stories and
I'm
your.
just gonna dye my hair green.
You could dye your hair green. No, you could dye it. What's it? Blacklight.
Yes.
Blacklight fluorescent.
Yes.
Yep.
Just
there you go.
don't check my sheets at the black light. What about that meme with that alien that was always walking around that was all clunky? Like that's back too. That's gonna have to come back.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
There's
is,
it's interesting.
I'll have to tell you what, Jess. I'm on the alien hype train now. You've convinced
I
me.
think I think part of it too was like Stranger Things, which no spoilers because I know you haven't watched.
I'm on like episode 5. I think starts tonight.
Oh my gosh.
So nothing's really happened.
I won't say anything. Except that's it. That's all I'll say. But I think with like Stranger Things too, like that kind of has gotten people interested in aliens again and the upside down and portals to other dimensions. And did you see the tweet that somebody made about opening up a portal to another dimension? That they were there's some company or some, I don't know what it is, some scientific thing. They want to try to open up a portal to another dimension, and Wendy's roasted them and said something like, "Oh, if only there was a TV show that talked about how dangerous this was."
Are they talking about like Stargate?
No. It was so weird. Like, I don't remember where I saw it, but it was funny. It was
Wendy's.
Wendy's roasts on Twitter.
Wow. Did they bring back the spicy chicken nuggets?
In August.
Oh, nice. So right before we're going to storm Area 51, we'll swing through the drive-thru at the local Wendy's. We'll get some spicy chicken nuggets. We'll get our foil hats. I'll paint my face green, and we'll go to Area 51.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, that sounds good. So do you believe in aliens?
One of these days we're going to have to get together and do the Drake equation, because based on the Drake equation, I do believe in aliens. The probability that there is actually life on other planets is very high according to the numbers that I give in that equation, and then the probability that there is intelligent life out there.
Are we
is
talking
also
about
very high.
Drake from like the rapper guy?
No.
Oh.
The Drake equation is a scientific equation that they make people do to kind of give you an idea of, if you answer all the questions honestly, it kind of gives you an idea of the probability of what you think, how many other planets out there could actually live life. It was something we did in my astronomy class, and I thought it was really fun, and
That
then I made
seems
Jaden
neat.
do it. I've made other people do it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of math, but it's fun.
I'm in.
But yes, I do believe that there is intelligent life out there somewhere because the probability is so high. There would be no reason for there not to be. And the universe is so vast, there's no reason for there not to be.
Right. But do you think that in the way that we think Area 51 is with the gelatin alien and stuff like that, do you think there's anything in there? Do you think we have a spaceship in there and a gelatin alien, which, I mean, would be decomposed and gone by now, right? Isn't it been enough years that, like, that thing would be gone? But do you think that that's there?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's hard to say because if you look at the things we've done in space. Look at the things we've sent out into space. If there is intelligent life out there that is as intelligent or more intelligent than we are, and they're sending things out into space as well, have they figured out how to send things farther? Have things actually made it here? Can they hear our TV broadcast that we've sent into space? I don't know. I have no idea.
Right, and if you're listening out there, aliens, I really do apologize for the last season of Game of Thrones. I'm very, very sorry about that. That's don't let our world be reflected on that tripe. But I don't
and you're
know.
welcome for Futurama.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Huh? Yeah. Thanks, alien writers. So, it'll be. I think it'd be interesting to see. I'd be curious. I wouldn't be shocked. I would be shocked, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was something crazy going on. I'd be disappointed if there was just nothing. It's just us and nothing else. Like, I would be disappointed. Like, oh, that sucks. There's so much space out there. Like, there's room for more. I noticed on TikTok they had a trending meme, because those are a thing. You know, I'm still new to this TikTok thing, and Area 51 was one of them. And there was a lot of funny ones, a lot of funny ones. Do you think you will make an Area 51 TikTok?
I probably should.
Well, what could it be? Because I don't see anything green in your house. Like, how do you alien it without spending money?
Oh, I'm sure I could find some things in the basement down here from all my Halloween stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. You should definitely make an Area 51 TikTok.
I probably could. I don't think I have an alien dog costume, but I may have.
It'd be a lot cooler
Now my
if you did.
brain's going. I know I have lots of green Christmas lights, so I could definitely light up something green.
That's all it takes. You wrap it around Kira, set her loose for 20 seconds, and then hopefully she doesn't bite through the cord.
I have green spotlights as well.
That's all you
Like
need.
I have LED green spotlights, so I could turn my entire living room like green.
Oh, see, that would be so cool. It doesn't matter. Anything you do turns to gold anyway.
I mean, that's what you keep telling me, but I haven't seen this gold yet. So
I don't know. This last TikTok you did really well of the day in a life.
yeah, I put that one up this morning, and for some reason, everybody liked it. TikTok is such an interesting. I mean, every social media is an interesting beast. You'll work really hard on something and think it's going to do amazing, and then it just flops, and you're like, "Why does this do so bad?" And I learned a long time ago that you kind of just have to roll with it and just keep creating. Like, I feel like that's all you can do. And TikTok is really good for that, because I can put up a TikTok that I think is adorable, and it's like, oh, you got 11,000 views, which I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. But when I have 300,000, almost 300,000 TikTok followers, you feel like it should probably be a little bit more than that.
Right. The percentage should be higher.
Yeah, you feel like it should be a little bit higher, like at least a 10% percentage. Like, that's kind of where you feel like it should be. And so sometimes when I put them up and they get like 10,000, you're like, oh, everybody didn't like that as much. And then this morning I was in the loop of let the dog out, let the dog in, let the other dog out, let the other. Why can you not all go outside at the same time? Why does this have to be let's all go out at separate times? And so I made the day in the life where I kind of just alluded to that joke, which dog people get. Multiple dog households will understand it. And I'm like, everybody else will think it's funny. I made it in, what, a minute? And apparently everybody liked it.
Yeah. I thought it was good.
My TikTok, though, Dan.
Yes.
What did you do?
I am so sucked into this TikTok thing. So since you and I were hanging out on Sunday a few days ago, we put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TikToks. Some of them have done extremely well. Some of them that didn't. The Titanic one sucked. Nobody cared about it. 188 people watched it, whereas almost 9,000 people have watched me swim like a shark. Or like, that was such a throwaway one too. No, wait, that's what we originally were gonna do, right? Like, swim around the pool like a shark. And then it was one of the takes where I knocked over the beer bottle on accident, and that's not what I wanted to do, but that's what worked, I guess. Yeah,
when we watched it back, it was funny. So all of these times, all of these months ago, you guys will remember me telling Dan to start a TikTok, and he promised to make one TikTok a week for a month and blah, 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 and just didn't do it. Apparently, all it took was me sitting down and showing him how to work the app.
Yeah, that did help a lot. And I know what this is all leading to, and I'll just get to it. Jess, you were right.
Yay!
Oh man, you were right. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. There's still a whole like, what is driving the plow of TikTok is not me at all, or my anythings, but I do feel that there is room for me in TikTok during a time where you have to be lanky and Biebery and squeaky and fast forwardy.
There is so much more to TikTok than that. And that's what I was trying to get across to you while I was there. I mean, yeah, while we were at VidCon, you could easily point out the TikTok kids. Like, it was so easy. They all looked the same. They all had the bright neon clothes from the 80s. They all, like you said, they all had the same hair. They all looked the same. But when you actually get on TikTok and you look at the people on there, it is such an age range. Like, one of my favorite TikTokers, her name is Tow Truck Jess. And I don't know if you've come across her yet, but she's a tow truck driver. And she makes inspirational TikTok videos. She gets on TikTok every day, makes a video just telling people to be positive about their life and that they're going to have a good day. Like, I don't know. She's just really fun. She makes a lot of silly videos where she's dancing, and she makes me smile. And that's like her whole goal. When people try to bring her down and she's got stuff going on in her life right now, people are bringing up her criminal record from 2008. She made a video the other day and she's like, you can bring that stuff up. That was me 11 years ago. This is me now.
Yeah, she
this
owns
is
it.
me now. Yeah, and that's what she said. She's like, you can say whatever you want about me 11 years ago, but this is me now. And
Right.
I don't know. I really like her, and you know, she's like our age. And then there's is it Grandpa Bud? I think is his name.
I don't know.
He's so funny, but he's legit a grandpa on TikTok making TikTok videos. The age range on TikTok is all ages. I feel like it's just something anybody can pick up their phone and they can make a funny skit and they can have a little bit of fun with it and make other people smile. That's it. That's all TikTok is. That's it.
Right. I've been having a great time, so I have at least 3 lined up for the next few days. So now's a good time to jump on my TikTok if you wanna follow me. They've been silly. I realize that you can just be stupid on TikTok. Like, just be stupid.
Yes, have fun.
Yeah. So
Make videos like nobody's watching and then put them out there for everybody to watch.
right, and see what sticks.
But that's exactly what you're doing. Like, you make a video that you wouldn't necessarily, like, you don't want other people to watch you doing the things you're doing. But then you make a video of it and you put it out there and you realize, I'm not the only one that dances like a fool when nobody's watching. I'm not the only one that makes funny faces while nobody's watching. Like, I don't know. I just like it. I feel like it's just a freeing app. I feel like it's so free and open, and you're not worried about the algorithm. You're not worried about the trend. I mean, the trends, yes, but the trends on TikTok are more like a challenge.
Yes.
You don't have to do the trends to gain, and they bring out new trends every couple of days. There's a new hashtag that they want, and it's not even that it's a trend when it starts. Some of those hashtags will come out and it'll be like, wow, there's only been 1 million people that have used this hashtag, and then 3 days later 500 million people have used it. It's like a challenge, and I kind of like that aspect of it. Can I make a video to match this trend? Can I make a video to match this hashtag that they want to be popular? I don't know. I just feel like it's not what YouTube is, where when I make a YouTube video, I have to consider the length, I have to consider how long, I have to consider if I just sit here and talk, people are going to find it boring, if there's not enough of a certain thing that people are looking for in it. I just feel like it doesn't go over as well on YouTube as you would expect it to. There's such a structure for YouTube. There's such a rigorous, I mean, not that we learned anything at VidCon this year, but at Vid Summit last year we learned it. It's analytics and data and algorithms and AI and this has to be this way. TikTok just isn't that. And that's kind of what I was trying to explain to you for the past few months while I've been trying to get you to get on TikTok. It is whatever you want it to be. And I think that's why I like it.
Right, and I notice right now that's what's driving the internet. We talked about it on the last podcast. There was so much TikTok influence at VidCon, and I noticed that since I've used TikTok over the last few days, that a lot of the things that I laughed at on Instagram came from TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I just feel like it's, I think when YouTube first started many years ago, and it was such a free app, you could be yourself, you could do what you wanted to do, and people would find you and they would follow you and they would follow your channel, and you would just build this connection with an audience. I feel like that's lacking on YouTube now. Now it has to be this structured beast. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You could still do whatever you want on YouTube, but if you're a full-time creator, there are portions of what you do where you have to succumb to what YouTube wants. And there are days where it is stressful, where you're like, I just want to be me. I just want to do something fun. And TikTok started as my out.
Yes.
I mean, it started as, I just want to make a 10-second video. I can't make a 10-second video and put it up on YouTube. 10-second videos don't work on YouTube. It would kill my channel.
Right.
Now I can make
it. When you first started, because you were doing TikTok for a little bit before it exploded. How long were you able to do whatever the heck you wanted before it took off? Like a week or two? Or no, it was a couple months, right? Like you just messed around and then all of a sudden it exploded?
Yeah, it was a little while. I started when it was Musical.ly. I had a Musical.ly account because people begged me to do Musical.ly.
Oh, yes.
So I had a Musical.ly account, but I didn't really understand it. And when I started it, the app was really clunky. It wasn't what it is now. And I kind of ran with it for a little bit, and I'm like, it's not what I want to do. It isn't really my thing. And I kind of pushed it aside. And then I started doing Vigo, which is basically a TikTok clone. Vigo reached out to me and wanted me to make videos, and they were paying very little for us to do it, but you could get flames, and then you would get more money. And it was like, oh, this is kind of neat because I can actually monetize this. At the same time, that also made me feel like I had to do it. But I played around with that for a while, and then because I was doing Vigo, I kept getting suggested stuff from TikTok, and that's when I installed it. And I was like, okay. So I started uploading my Vigo videos directly to TikTok because I was already making that style of content. And then I quit Vigo altogether. It was clunky and it crashed all the time, and it was weird. Like the For You page was all foreign, and I couldn't understand anybody, and it didn't aggregate content that I would like very well, where TikTok does.
Was that Casey Neistat's app from like a couple years ago?
No, that was Beam.
Oh, that was okay. My bad. What happened to them? They're done too.
Yeah, Beam's done. Vigo is from India, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I believe people that own it are from India. TikTok's from China.
Gotcha. Okay, that's who owns it right now?
Yeah, I think it's owned by a company in China.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. Yeah, they bought Musical.ly, and then now it's TikTok.
Where does because I noticed some apps like there's Snapchat where like the face swap like filters came from, and then where does that old person's filter come from? Is that a Snapchat thing? That's not anything inside TikTok, right? Like or is that a separate program?
That's a separate app called Faceapp.
Yeah, I see. I'm having such a hard time with all these filters.
Too many apps and filters.
Too many apps and filters.
Oh, not the baby face one. The turning a guy into a girl and a girl into a guy app. That was Snapchat.
Oh, okay. And then Snapchat originated with the face swap, right? So the face swap creeped me the heck out. The turn into a chick, that was ridiculous. There were so many hot dudes after that. I was like, what's going on here? I'm like all confused. And even me, like, did you see mine? How like good I looked?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, and now it's the old people one.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's the one that bothers me the most. I don't like it. And by the way, way to go, filters, for like stepping up your game. Way to go, because these things are on point. But I'm sick of everybody's old filter because it looks too real, and I don't want to know what all my buddies are gonna look like when they're stupid, old, and gray. Like I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I haven't done it. I haven't opened it.
I already look like I did it.
I don't know who owns it, but I was on Facebook the other day and somebody was like, the Russians own all of your information if you downloaded this app and you uploaded it, and now all of your photos are uploaded to it, and they have all of your information on your phone. And I'm like, man, I don't care. You want all the information on my phone? There ain't nothing. I don't keep anything on my phone that I wouldn't care. I don't keep passwords on my phone. You want my phone numbers? They're on my phone. Like I don't know. That to me made me laugh. But at the same time, you downloaded the app. You agreed to the privacy. I mean, they're going to turn you into a human centipede. I've seen that episode of South Park.
Yes, they are. They are. You signed the Apple terms and conditions. You're going to be a human centipede. If not, so you download the app, you make yourself old, you share it with your buddies, but the terms and conditions read like this. You grant Faceapp all perpetuity, non-exclusive, royalty, worldwide, fully paid, transferable, sub-license, license to use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, create, deviate. Now they're just making rhymes. Work from, distribute, publicly perform, publicly display your likeness without any compensation, without any further consent.
Yep.
This is what you've signed away for. So they can put you on a billboard. And they could take off your nose and put a wiener nose on there, and you can't do anything about it as you drive by on your way to work to see that.
They can sell your image to whoever they want.
Yeah. Yep. Whatever they can do whatever they want with it. Yep. So that's just, I bet there's a lot of other apps that way. I bet Snapchat's the same thing. I bet like the Snapchat will use any of the stuff that you uploaded because it's all going to go to some place before it gets to the destination. So they own all your stuff. And yes, this old person app that billions of people have probably done, they have now access to a bunch of photos.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
what they're going to do with that. I wonder why they're collecting it, because that app's free, right?
They're gonna take everybody's face and they're gonna put it on some AI robots, holographic AI robots, and they're gonna storm Area 51.
Oh my gosh, I would love Robot Dan. Oh, yes.
I picture that. You remember that episode of Futurama where they did that, where Fry was able to download, what was her name, Lucy Liu?
Yes, yes. That's right.
That's how it is. They're
Oh
gonna
my
have a
gosh.
category and they'll be like, pick whoever you want. We'll download you into a robot.
Oh my gosh, Futurama did it first. Oh my gosh, you're so right. Dan, I would love Robot Dan. Robot Dan would be a lot cooler version of this Dan. He'd be like, I don't know, he'd eat his vegetables and
Vegetables
Yeah,
as a robot.
yeah, Robot Dan would be so rad. He could mow the lawn.
Robot Dan could mow the lawn.
Yeah, we need to make robots, Jess. What would Robot Jess do?
All my work.
Edit. It'd be Editbot 2000.
Yeah, just do everything that I'm supposed to be doing so that I don't have to do it.
So privacy's over. I've said that for a long time. Privacy's over. So I don't care if they use my face for whatever they do. Like and subscribe. Are you going to get the app and make yourself old? I don't want to see me old.
No, I don't think I need to look any older than I already do.
I don't want to either.
It's not something that interests me. I'm not like, oh, I want to see what I look like old. It's just not, no.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
I know what I look like. I just look at my mom and dad.
Most people do. My sister Leslie, her kids, they all just look like her. Like, oh, okay, yeah. Which is scary because now I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
I don't want to see
No.
that.
No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks.
No thanks. So Jess, we have a question this week from
do we?
Speakpipe. So if you guys want to leave us a question, go to speakpipe.com/ccmousePodcast so we can hear your sweet, sweet dulcet tones on air. So this one is from PJ.
I know PJ.
I do not know PJ.
Ignition 1991, I think, is his username on YouTube, and he's on TikTok as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he lives here in the greatest state in the nation, Michigan.
Oops. Wait. Sorry, you misspelt that. You can Control Z and re-say that again.
You can't argue with me. Michigan makes the best beer.
That is true. We did have a conversation, a debate, if you will, before the podcast started on how great Michigan was or was not.
And it is.
So I have not heard this question, neither of you, unless you logged into the Speakpipe account.
I did not.
All right, so let's play this and see what Mr. P to the J has to say.
Hi Jess, hi Dan, this is PJ.
All right.
I am curious, what is the most complicated piece of machinery you've ever had to work with? Please share all of the things that went right, and more importantly, please share all of the things that went wrong. Thank you, and have an awesome day.
Oh, wow. Okay, PJ. What a question. You go first.
Oh my gosh, the most complicated piece of machinery I've ever had to work with. Now I'm trying to think of all the things that I've been inside of a semi truck before.
Ooh.
But I don't think I drove it. Like, I don't think I made it move. I've been inside of I don't know what they're called, the cat things, the front loaders. I've been inside of those before.
Yeah, you've driven one?
Yeah, I've been inside. Yeah, I don't know. I've been inside of a bulldozer. I drove was it a bulldozer I drove with my dad? I don't remember. I would have been really little. I don't know that I've driven any big pieces of machinery or any type of machinery in a really long time. That's a hard question. My brain is now racking with, wow, really? I don't know.
I know, right? Rack your brain some more. So I had this print press machine, and you can see it in some of my old videos, and it was this really old steel machine with these plates that would clap together. Boom, boom. One side of the plate would have the ink on it, and the other side of the plate would have the paper, and it would stamp the paper. And these machines had a wheel that was 3 feet, 4 feet around, this huge wheel, and it probably put about a ton of force on there. And we had these dies that were metal, and I was cutting out Rubik's Cube tiles for CubeSmith. So I'd put a little square piece on the machine when it would open up, and it was going fast. It was clapping. Every time it would open, I'd stick my hand in the machine, pull out the piece, put in a new piece. It would smash the metal into Rubik's Cube sticker shapes. Boom. It would open up. I'd pull that out. I'd put another piece in. That thing, I've gotten stuff caught in that machine before. I dropped a roll of tape in there. It annihilated the roll of tape. I had a piece of plastic that like fell out of my headphones. It blew out my headphones. I got my hand kind of half caught in there once, and when I pulled it out, I would not look at my hand because I was so afraid that my hand was gone.
Oh my gosh.
It was so crazy. So there's plenty of videos I have. We'll have to put one up. Can we embed video now on our stuff?
I figured out how to correctly embed video.
Yeah, so I have some old CubeSmith footage of using this big huge press that just wants to take off your hand. Like if I would have got caught in there, and I made thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of tiles over about 11-year span. And I am lucky that I did not slip up one time to have my hand get caught in that machine.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the only like dangerous type of like actually could have hurt myself type of machinery that I've ever really operated, the meat slicer at the deli, which doesn't sound that dangerous, but
it's like the ones you see at the supermarket where the meat's like sideways.
Yep. Yeah, and there's that big huge, it's terrifying. I used that quite a few times at the deli and was always afraid of it, but I never got hurt on it. I don't know. I've used a lot of stuff for fixing cars. My dad was a mechanic. I have lots of friends who are mechanics. Jamie fixes a lot of stuff on his own. I've been in a lot of situations where, so I guess machinery, I lifted I helped. I didn't do it on my own. I helped lift a transmission into a Jeep twice in my back garage here.
That's dangerous.
It was, especially because we didn't have the right machinery to lift a transmission off the ground. So it took like 4 or 5 of us, I think, to get this thing off the ground, get it into the Jeep, get it all hooked up, bolt everything in, try not to drop it, try not to shift it, try to line it up correctly, only to have it leak, and we had to take it back out because we did it wrong.
Oh, that sucks.
I think we dropped and raised the transmission on his Jeep. This was my buddy John. I think we dropped it and raised it like 3 or 4 times. It was crazy. And then the one time we did it at the old house, he left our house and he made it down the street and he called me and he's like, my front tire just fell off. I'm like, like, what the heck?
Right?
So I've done that. I've worked on, I've helped put in lift kits on Jeeps. I have a picture of Dan and Jamie. We didn't have the right kit to hold the springs down, so we didn't have a spring compressor. So instead they used ratchet straps. And all I remember thinking is if one of these ratchet straps snap, the spring is gonna hurt somebody. So they and it was at like 2 a.m. It was for Jamie's Jeep, for the 2-door Wrangler that we have. Him and Dan just like ratchet, not Dan on the podcast, my friend Dan that lives here. Ratchet strap down these springs to compress these springs to try to get them underneath his Jeep. They jacked it up as high as they could. That was intense. I helped do that. But as for like piece of machinery, everything always went right whenever we did those things, except for the transmission. We had to drop the transmission out and put it back in, and then parts were still broken.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
The other day something happened to Jamie's Jeep, and you guys had like the front part of it, or maybe it was Greg's, apart all on the ground, and they were laying under it. And that's so sketchy to me. That is so sketchy.
Yeah, that was Greg's Jeep. The plan was to just do the brakes all the way around, but they knew they had to do the brakes and he has rotors on the front and drums in the back. They knew they had to do the brakes and the rotors on the front, but when they started taking it apart, Greg had been talking about how there was a clunking noise, and I hadn't been in his Jeep in quite a while because I would have known what the same thing. Jamie would have known right away what that clunking noise was. So when they started taking it apart, Jamie grabbed the wheel and it moved. All of his U-joints were bad. So they ended up having to replace the brakes, the rotors, and the U-joints. And it was so funny. They started it off not getting the U-joint press because, they're guys. They totally do this. We don't need a U-joint press.
We don't need the correct tool.
Yeah, about an hour into it. You can do U-joints without a press. It's just harder. If the U-joints are new, it's not so bad, but his U-joints were rusted in place. So they ended up having to go back and get the U-joint press. And the project that was supposed to take them 3 hours took them from 10 o'clock in the morning till 7:30 at night, and they never even got to the back brakes.
Oh, that's what always happens when I try to mess with any kind of car things. It's like always 10 times longer than it should be.
That's what happens anytime anybody tries to fix anything on a car. You think it's going to be something simple, and then it ends up being just... When we did that transmission on John's Jeep, it was supposed to just be a drop and swap, and that's not what happened. Like, it just took forever. That's not. I feel like I did that. We did that with somebody else's Jeep too in a driveway.
Yeah,
Drop and
a
swap.
drop and swap. My guess is that a drop and swap never ever works correctly.
Oh no, because if you don't mark things off and you don't line things up and you don't, I mean, we've replaced drive shafts, front drive shafts, rear drive shafts. If you don't mark everything correctly and then put everything back the way it is, everything will be off. You can create death wobble in a Jeep. Like there's so many things that can go wrong if you don't do it all right. And then even when you do it all right, it still doesn't turn out right.
Yeah, no thanks. That's why I just take it to the professionals.
I guess so. Then for machinery, the biggest machinery that I've ever is probably Jeeps. It's probably cars.
Doing car stuff. Do you guys even have mechanics out there, or is everybody just Jamie? Like they all just fix stuff?
We have mechanics out here, but we live in such a rural area. There's not a whole lot to do. So most guys and most girls out here, just you learn how to work on cars on your own.
Okay.
It blows my mind that that's something that's not taught. I feel like you should be taught how to at least change your own oil. I think everybody should learn how to do that. And I think everybody should learn like the basics of a car, how to check your fluids. I mean, and I know it's going the way of the electric car.
But fluids are fluids. Like that's the half of it. I blew up my first engine because there was no oil in it.
Yeah, see, and I think that there should be like a class, but I also feel like there should be a class in school where they teach you how to budget money.
I've always said that as well. There should be that where they teach you how to get a credit card. They teach you what interest rates are. They teach you like what home loans are, so you don't get screwed.
And yeah, and I get that like your parents should be teaching you that, but there are parents out there that don't have any idea how to do that stuff. So I think like if they had, don't teach me home ec. I don't need home ec. I need reality. Teach me how to budget how to make a budget work. Teach me how to change the oil on my vehicle. Simple things. I mean, it's not that they're simple things,
right.
But I don't know that I could change. I probably could. I could change my own oil if I had
think
to.
you could.
As soon as I say it, like I can picture all the parts in my head and where they are, and I go, oh yeah, I could still do that.
I get a lot of kids that come into the bike shop. They're 18, 19, and they'll want like a BMX bike, and they'll be like, hey, do you guys offer some sort of payment plan? I'm like, well, we have 12 months no interest on approval, and they're like, sign me up. I'm like, okay, wait, dude, listen to what I'm about to say to you. And then I'll give them the whole speech about interest rates and are you sure you want a credit card? And what other credit cards do you have now? Like, are you sure this is the right decision? And because the kids are just easy to be like, yeah, free money, I pay later. That's for future me to worry about. But nobody teaches you that, like, hey, man, that's like might not be a good deal.
That's how a lot of people think about it. They look at it and they just think it's free money. I have a friend of mine that has a kids channel on YouTube and their channel just tanked and they actually posted and said, I don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage. And my first thought was, it's been 4 days and you don't know how you're going to pay your mortgage. Wait, so you have no budget, you have no backup plan, you have nothing. YouTube can crash tomorrow and I'm going to be okay.
Right.
I'm going to have a lot of time to look for a job and I planned it that way. That terrifies me that people don't know that they should do that. Like have a backup plan. Yeah, even when you're making dirt money, it sucks to put $5 away out of every paycheck. It's one less thing you can buy, but just start doing it now. It will help so much in the future. Right,
that'll buy you your extra month of not having to worry about it when YouTube tanks.
Yeah, they don't teach kids that. And if their parents don't know how to do it, if their parents are setting the example of our house got foreclosed on, our vehicle got repoed, they don't know. And that's why I feel like it's something they should teach in school.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. That's something that they really do, but they don't want you to learn. They just want you to lose once and then learn from the loss and then you can be okay.
Right.
Yes. I have my one credit card. I like my one credit card. I put all my stuff on my one credit card, and then I pay my one credit card off a month. Sometimes there'll be grown adults that are sitting at the register, and the dude will have like a deck of cards in his hand, and he's just flipping through like, which one? I'm like, whoa, like, he's like, I use this one to pay off this one. I'm like, is that even, now you're literally running a train on your credit cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I have one credit card, and every Friday I log on and I pay whatever the balance is. So I never get the interest on it. They don't make any money off of me. I don't know why they even let me keep it. And that's just the way I've always done it. Because I did the opposite years ago. I made the mistake of getting a credit card, and then I lost my job, and I had the credit card, a car payment, and we ended up moving home. and neither of us had jobs, and it was like this, we're going to use this credit card to keep paying for this car because we have to have a car to be able to get a job. And we learned real quick that debt sucks.
Yes, debt does suck. And I was always in debt until I wasn't in debt recently over like the last handful of years, and I didn't know any different. Oh my gosh, the cat. I didn't know any difference, but yeah, debt sucks.
It does. It really does. It's always hanging over your head, and you feel like you're drowning. And it's so nice when that's not there. Like, we owe money on our house, and I owe money on my Jeep. But even at that, I made sure that even those payments are really low. Everything could crash tomorrow, and I could go get a part-time job, and we'd be okay for a long time.
Oh, ma'am, can I get some ketchup over here? Hey, weren't you that snow dog lady? Oh my gosh, whatever happened to you guys?
I would go back to work at McDonald's.
Would you? You know how much, if it all came crashing down, after your meltdown, you would be so relieved. Like, Charles Trippy is still making daily videos. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, put it down.
Yeah.
Not put it down, but like you don't have to no more. Like, what would it be like for you to not to have to work this hard?
I don't know. I really don't know. It would be crazy. It would be strange. I don't know what I would do with myself, though. Like, I don't know.
You'd have no responsibilities. You would just put the 10 to 1s in the bun.
I don't think I could do that.
Did you see?
I don't know. It would be interesting. It would be very interesting.
There was a TikTok of like a head down camera of somebody trying to make a Big Mac inside the back of the McDonald's, and they squirted the 2 Big Mac sauces on the piece like unevenly, and there was millions of comments just flaming that part of the video. Not to mention, like, there was a whole point to the video, but all they cared about was how the sauce was unevenly distributed on the Big Mac.
Those special containers that they use to fill all the sauces, and everything has to be measured out perfectly, and you only get 2 pickles, and they haven't changed any of that.
They were mad because in that video they put 3 pickles on there.
Oh, was it a bit? If it was a Big Mac, though, that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I have Kamiko on my lap right now. She is not happy. I'm sure you guys could hear her meowing in the background. She really wants to go outside, but here in California, it's hot out. It's like 90 outside. You can't go outside. You're black. That means you get even hotter, right?
You'll melt.
You'll melt. Yeah, I'll bring up the weather app right here. I bet it's like in the 90s out here. We're about to hit our stride. August is our hottest month.
Right.
What about you guys? What's going on over there? Is it hot?
It's 75, but the humidity is ridiculous.
Ugh.
And we're supposed to get hit by a pretty big storm today, but I think it's going to pass us. We were supposed to get a really nasty storm, but I don't know. Now it's down to like a 30% chance of rain. I think it missed us. I think the weather guy just likes to say, we're going to get hit with this crazy thing. We were also supposed to have 100-degree weather this week, and that didn't happen either.
Oh, well, it's 93 right now here. 0 humidity, so bring on the nosebleeds.
Ugh.
For all you nosebleeders.
It's 81. I lied. It's 81 right now with 84% humidity.
Right. When you come in October for Vid Summit, it'll be nice.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah. Well, we were inside the whole time.
Yeah, we were. But if we go to Disneyland, it should be nice.
Right. So that'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse podcast. Do you have anything, any final words left to say, Jess?
No, I can't harass you to make TikToks anymore because you're already doing it.
I will say I love it. Thank you for showing me how to use TikTok. Really, though, it's been so much fun.
I'm just glad you finally listened and understood what I was trying to explain to you.
And I have a GoPro coming, so it'll be here next Tuesday. So by the time we talk next on the podcast, I'll be producing a lot of GoPro videos. So I think I might be on the up right now of creativity. I don't think I've been any more stoked to do something out of all the years that you've been pushing me than this year.
I think you're gonna love the GoPro. I think it's gonna be very freeing for you. Unlike, I don't know if you will actually go back to vlogging with it or just making short content videos with it, but I think you'll have a lot of fun with it.
It'll be short content videos for sure. I like the way my brain has been thinking the last few days of quick fun things. Like here's how TikTok works real quick before we get out of here. I make some clip, I send it to Jess. She says, here's where it probably should go and the song you should use for it. I edit to it and then I post it.
Yeah,
the clip I sent you yesterday or the one of the cat that I posted today. It's like, you should do this thing. And then, so it's been really fun. I like it. It's been really, really fun. So yeah, go find me at RFistan on TikTok and hit us up on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel just blew up. It's blowing up so big. So thank you everybody that came to watch us audibly on YouTube. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's working.
doesn't make sense to me either. I have no idea what's going on with it and why it suddenly decided that it's going well, but hey, I'm not going to complain.
And if you're new here from this, welcome to us. I'm Dan and Jess. Well, I'm not Dan and Jess. I'm Dan and that's Jess. I'm not throwing my voice and doing a one-man show. That would be so great. The Dan monologues.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And if you fancy a shirt, you can go find our merch at CC Mouse Podcast. What's our merch store? What was it? Shopify? No, it's a spreadsheet. No.
Shop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have our own .com. Way to go, Dan. Way to know your own brand. So yeah, ccmousepodcast.shop. Yeah, go get a shirt. Get a shirt and a mug, because that's what Dan would do.
That's a damn.
Find us on Instagram at CC Mouse Podcast and on our Facebook page. Leave us a message at Speakpipe, and we'll see you guys next week. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye.
Bye. Hey, we did a thing.
Woot.
You can get that on a shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. This is so much fun.